Hi, my name is Genevieve Sipian, and I am very interested in interviewing for a position in EGR. Some background about me is that I am from Grand Rapids originally. I graduated from Forest Hills Eastern High School, and then I attended Central Michigan University, where I was super involved in their educational program. I was an ESL ambassador as well as an e-board member for the student chapter of the National Association for the Education of Young Children, and I was the president of the Council of Future Educators, which was a student organization that provided Saturday workshops for local elementary school kids to supplement their education in the STEAM subjects. I graduated CMU with my Bachelor's of Science in Education with a double minor in Early Childhood Education and English as a second language. I came back to Grand Rapids to do my student teaching at West Godwin Elementary School. I spent 8 weeks in a first grade classroom and then 8 weeks in an early childhood special education classroom, and then I also did some job shadowing with their ESL staff. For the last year, I have taught at Orchard Hills Christian Preschool and Child Care Center here in Grand Rapids. It's in Walker. I have been the lead teacher of a 3 and 4s classroom called the Teddy Bears, where I have had not only a range of ages from 2.5 to almost 5, but I've also had a really wide range of abilities, including some ESL students. For the last 3 summers, I have worked at Orchard Hill as a kindergarten and first grade teacher. Some reasons that I would want to work at EGR is because of your focus on educating the whole child. I believe in the restorative practices that you guys are putting in place, and your emphasis on inclusion is really near and dear to my heart. And just the idea of educating a whole child and putting such an emphasis on social emotional learning is something I believe that is super important to the world right now, especially as we try to overcome the COVID-19 crisis. So yeah, I would really like to be a part of that mission. My favorite children's book, I had a lot. I was a very avid reader, would probably be Percy Jackson. I read it so often that it fell apart. It was a little below my reading level by the time I was reading it over and over again, but I really appreciated the diversity of characters that were included in that book. Rick Riordan, the author, is really famous for having written the books for his son who had ADHD and dyslexia. And because of those traits, he had a really hard time fitting in school. So Rick wrote the stories about characters that were diverse enough to remind people of what they see in everyday life so that people could find themselves in their characters. And having characters in a book that were neurodivergent was really important in my family. My little brother has ADHD, and it really affected him when he was in school. Anyway, I really loved Percy Jackson because of the inclusion that it had in the cast, or characters, whatever. Annabeth was one of my favorite characters because she was not only beautiful, but she was smart. And then Clarice was another one of my favorite characters because she was a reformed bully. At the beginning of the book, she is really mean to everybody, and then she gets better. So I think it has important life lessons about second chances and understanding where people are coming from. Yeah, that's my favorite book, Percy Jackson. I believe that I am the best candidate for this position because I am really consistent, I'm really hardworking, and I am flexible. If we have learned nothing else from the past few years, it is that things do not always go as we plan, and we have to adjust and overcome. But I am very hardworking. I never stop until I've accomplished a task. I would bring a really positive attitude and a willingness to collaborate with my peers, with my fellow educators, with my students. I think it's really important to collaborate with your students, and I would bring my skills and experiences working with diverse populations. Thank you.